doing a show. I know you know that. He does it to me all the time. My gosh. What do I do with these animals? I got too many. I have 6 cats. I used to have 8 cats. And I got 2 dogs. I mean, I'd have more pets. If I had a bigger place, like more rooms and stuff, I'd like have rabbits and gerbils and guinea pigs and geckos and horny toads, and I'd have all those little critters, if I had a big house and lots of rooms. And then I'd have, outside critters, like chickens and, let me see. I don't know. I'd probably have some pet deers, because I like deers. Yeah, right. Pet raccoons. I already have all those. But I have something. Not really cows. I don't really want to have food per se. Chickens is okay, but I don't know. I'm not really getting into cows and goats too much, or horses. I don't really into that stuff. I'm more like cute animals, like llamas and sheep. Sheep are nice because you can use their fur for clothing and blankets if you need it later on. If you can't, there's no stores that are open. They all close all the stores. You'll have like clothes right there. You don't have to skin deers like I've been told. I don't want to skin a deer. I'd rather shave a sheep. That sounds funny. I don't want to skin a deer. I'll shave a sheep. Yeah, that sounds funny. All right. Sounds weird. And okay. And so there we go. The beginning. We are back to the beginning. Oh, remember soap operas? Oh my gosh, I just thought of soap operas that came to my mind. Oh, man, talk about boring. And so many ladies back in those days loved those shows. And I'm like, why? My mom sometimes would make me watch it. And I'm like sitting there going, oh, this is the worst show I've ever seen. The worst acting. Ugh. Yeah. And it's always the same old crap. Somebody's messing around with somebody else, please, I'd rather watch game shows. They were more exciting than soap operas, that's for sure. I could get into the game shows more. Except for Jeopardy when I was younger, in my 20s. I would watch Jeopardy, and it was like watching some show out of China or Japan. I'd be like, what? What? They'd say, what's this and that? I'm like, I don't know. What's this and that? I don't know. I was lucky if I could answer one question during the whole show. One. I didn't know anything about anything. I was only 20 years old. So, but I had my friends that were in their 20s, and they're show-offs, and they knew stuff, and they made me feel bad. So, but now I can watch Jeopardy, and maybe I can get 2 questions right. Remember that one guy? Oh my God, he was from Utah. He kicked butt on Jeopardy. I was like so stoked about that guy, that little blonde guy. He was from Utah. I think he was a Mormon guy. He made a whole lot of money on that show. He got rich real fast. Sometimes I wondered if it was set up, It seemed like it was set up, but I was thinking, man, this guy's his IQ level is like, going out the window. I'm thinking, if his IQ is that high, he should be a rocket scientist, because he was so smart. I was sitting there, oh Lord, this guy's just unbelievable. So that was kind of fun, but it's too bad that he messed up on the last show. I didn't see the last show. I missed the last show that he was on, so I didn't get to see what happened. Maybe he just didn't want to win. He got tired of being there and wanted to go home, and he maybe he didn't answer the question right on purpose. Some people do that. They just get tired and want to go home. Like you ever go on vacation? You get off work and you've been looking forward to your vacation for months, right? And you get your vacation and you got a bunch of kids, right? And you go on vacation, and when you come back from vacation, you're more tired from your vacation than you were at work. And you went, want to get back to work and get away from the family. You're like, I've had enough. I can't take it no more. I'm pooped out. I can't handle it. You know, especially the husbands, they really can't. They just want to they want to go back to work bad. They're like, get me away from that wife and kids. They're insane. Why did I marry her? I don't remember. You know? Yeah. Oh, it must have been the food. Yeah. It's women always know how to get the man. There's two things they can get the man with, and you know what they are. It's food, and you know what the other one is. And that's about it. It's easy to get a man. On the other hand, on the other side, for a man to get a woman, they have a harder time, because a lot of women out there are just looking for a big fat wallet, you know? I'm serious, they are, especially California women. Oh my gosh, not all California women. Okay, don't get angry if you're listening, you're from California. I don't mean all California women, but most of them that I met are after the wallet. And when I go out with a guy, they always say, why are you going out with me? And I go, why do you ask me that? They say, because most California women, I was living in California at the time, they said, most California women won't go out with me because I don't have a fat wallet. And I go, well, I'm not really from California. I'm from Arizona. Makes a difference, you know. I wasn't born there. So, kind of weird, you know. I don't know. Which reminds me of California. It reminds me of the beach and how much I miss it. I miss going on the pier. They have a pier. They built, like, all the times I was there, as long as I was there, 20 years, I think they had like 5 or 6 piers before they finally built a cement pier. And all the other ones were wooden, and every time they had a big storm, the wooden piers would, you know, just fall apart. You know, they wouldn't last. So then they'd have to close it off, and then we'd have to wait for them to build another pier. Oh, my brother. So finally, the cement one, it's awesome. It's been there for years now. And that thing hasn't floated away yet or broken or anything. It's doing pretty good. They got a restaurant at the very end of it, and you know, they serve so-so food. It's not like really, really super good food, but it's not McDonald's either, right? It's kind of in between. And they used to have this one restaurant is down below this other restaurant that was across the street. Anyway, there's a lot of restaurants around there. Anyway, they had this one cheap restaurant. It was called the Green Burrito, and they used to sell beer. So a lot of the guys loved going in that restaurant because they could be on the beach and drink beer. Because if you brought beer in your cooler on the beach in California, and the cops would come around and make you pour it out, they won't let you drink beer on the beach. So Green Burrito was serving beer with their Mexican food. And believe me, that place was packed all the time. Didn't matter what time of year, mostly the summer. It didn't matter what day of the week you went. It was packed, okay? Didn't matter. And you go in there, and then there would be girls, like, skating on the boardwalk with their, well, not the boardwalk. It's like a sidewalk, I guess. They'd be skating with their skates on, their bikinis, right? But there were some girls that were so bold that they would go in front of the restaurant and literally pick up their top in front of all the guys inside the Green Burrito restaurant, because they had big windows that faced the ocean. You could see out to the ocean, right? And they'd stand there and show off their, you know, and then the guys would like start screaming like they were at some football game, and you're like, what are they screaming about? And then I found out one day, why, and I was like, you're serious? I go, they're crazy. I mean, who the heck would do something like that? I would never do something like that. That's just bizarre. Really bizarre thinking. I don't know what's wrong with people like that, but you're bizarre, okay? Anyway, I've seen a girl over there in a grocery store one time. She was pushing her cart, just wearing a bikini, pushing her cart to the grocery store. And then I was like, okay. And then I come out to Oregon, and I see people going to the grocery store wearing their pajamas. long pajamas and a pajama top, and they wear a bathrobe and their slippers, and they'd be grocery shopping. Younger people, not old people, younger people. I'll be like going, okay, what's wrong with this picture? I can't believe, so I've seen some pretty strange stuff. There's always strange stuff out there. And so I don't worry about people calling me strange, because I know I don't do that stuff. I never do any of that stuff. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some weird stuff. God. I hope I never go to an old folks' home one day, because it's probably going to be gross and stinky. Them old folks having diarrhea and everything, it's going to smell. And then they're going to put you in a room with some other old lady, and she's going to be stinking up the bathroom all the time. And then when you got the diarrhea, then you want to rush to the bathroom, she'll be in there with the door locked, and you'll be like trying to hold on to it. Hurry! God, yeah. I think that's why they made those old people's diapers, because of that reason. Oh my God! That's what we got to look forward to when we get older. We got lots of things to look forward to. But that's pretty weird, huh? Oh. Yeah, my eyeballs are rolling back in my head right now. I can't. Yeah, but I'm bold. I'll just talk. I just say things the way they are. It's the truth. These things happen. Why not talk about it? I mean, I remember my parents, or actually my mother. You'd ask them questions when you're growing up about SCX word, or you'd ask questions about PMS, or even hot flashes, or any of that stuff, and they'd want to talk about it. They'd change the subject. They'd change the subject. For some reason, that their generation just doesn't talk about that kind of stuff. And then our generation comes around, and they're nuts. Okay, they're doing all kinds of crazy kooky things. Totally opposite. And then my kids' generation comes along, and they're acting like my grandparents. But that's true. Everybody says that people always act like their grandparents for some reason. Probably because they get along better with their grandparents. They have a special bond with them grandparents. They really do. Grandparents. Because grandparents aren't disciplining you every 5 minutes. They're not yelling at you. They're not spanking you. They're spoiling you, if anything. They come up. You see your grandparents, and they give you cookies, and they give you toys, and they take you somewhere. You always have a good time with Grandma and Grandpa. So, yeah, grandparents are special. I wish mine were still alive, but none of them are anymore, and that's kind of sad. I miss them a lot. And, I wish they were around longer. I even met my great-grandfather once, I think. Well, once that I remember. He might have been around even before that, but I think the last time I saw him, I think I was 6, and I think he died maybe when I was 10. I don't know. I just didn't see him. I only saw him that one time. And he was at my family's home, and visiting, and we were eating dinner at the table, and then we had some angel food cake. And I'll remember I was probably like 4 or 5 or something. I remember, I don't know, maybe I was older. No, I had to be like 4 or 5. Anyway, he started choking on the angel food cake. And then he was on the floor. The next time I looked, he was on the floor, and he was choking, and I guess they were trying to get him to get it out of him or something, they were trying to help him, because he was choking. And he was on the floor, and that was the last time I saw him, and I thought he died that day. I thought he choked on the angel food cake and died. And then later on, my mom says, no, he didn't die that day. He went back to Ohio. He was fine. He went back to Ohio, and he died later on, a few years later, and I'm like, what? So I went half my life thinking that my great-grandpa died of eating angel food cake. And it never happened. I mean, so when you're little, you see things that when you're older, you find out, no, that wasn't true. it is like another thing that happened, and I'm still trying to wonder about that one because